Shri Bhaktivinod Thakur ki jai, Krishna Samhita ki jai. Shri Gopi Bhavam Ashritya Manjari Sevanam Tada Sakhinam Sangati Tasmad Radha Padashraya Tatraiva Bhava Bahurya Mahabhavo Bhave Dhruvam Tatraiva Krishna Sambhoga Sarvananda Pradayaka Etasya Vraja Bhavana Sampata Pratibandaka Ashtadasha Vidashanti Shatrava Priti Dushaka Adau Dushta Guru Prapti Putana Sanyadaini Vakyarupa Kutarkasu Trinavartaiti Rita Tritiye Bharavahitvam Shakatam Buddhimardakam Chaturthe Baladoshana Swarupo Vatsarupatri Panchame Dharma Kapatyam Nama Paradharupakam Bakarupi Mahadhurto Vaishnavanam Virodaka Dambikanam Nasapriti Krishne Vrajanivasini Tatraiva Sampradayana Bhayalinga Samadara Drisham Sattvam Prachandatvam Aghasura Swarupakam Shashtha Paradharupoyam Vartate Pratibandaka Bahushatsya Vicharena Yadmoho Vartate Sada Saeva Saptamo Lakshyo Brahmano Mohane Kila Renukasura Buddhisya Gandhabastara Ashtame Lakshyate Dosha Sampradaya Satamaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Bhaktivinod Thakur, Jaya Bhaktivinod Thakur, Jaya Bhaktivinod Thakur, Jaya Bhaktivinod Thakur. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Bhaktivinod Thakur ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Krishna.
So this is going to be a marathon. Chitra, would you like to read?
Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, great. Thank you.
In the Upasana Kand or Vedic division on worship, attachment is divided into three categories: pure attachment, attachment in the mood of Vaikuntha, and attachment based on material examples of spiritual relationships. Pure attachment or Mahabhav is the property of Radhika, who is half of Krishna's form. Similar but slightly different to Mahabhav or the eight pure symptoms of transcendental ecstatic love personified by the eight Sakhis. Similar to the mood of the Sakhis, please see the commentary on 7.2. Attachments based on material examples of spiritual relationships personified by the Manjaris. The worshipper should first take shelter of a Manjari who has a nature similar to his own. Later, he should take shelter of the Sakhi who is worshipped by that Manjari. By the mercy of that Sakhi, one will attain the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. The positions of a worshipper, a Manjari, a Sakhi, and Srimati Radhika in the cycle of the Ras dance are similar to an asteroid, a planet, the sun, and Dhruvlok of the material world. When the living entities approach Mahabhav by gradual advancement of their loving emotions, then enjoyment with Krishna, which bestows unlimited bliss, is easily attained. There are 18 obstacles that pollute one's ecstatic love in the wonderful mood of Raj. Contemplating the names of these obstacles is the indirect consideration of the mood of Raj. Persons who are on the path of attachment should avoid the first obstacle, accepting a bogus guru, by discussing Putana's arrival in Braj in the guise of a nurse. See Appendix A. There are two types of gurus, Antarang or internal and Bahirang or external. The living entity who is situated in Samadhi is his own Antarang Guru, one who accepts argument as his Guru and who learns the process of worship from such a Guru is said to have accepted the shelter of a bogus Guru. When argument poses as nourishment for the living entity's constitutional duties, this may be compared with Putana's falsely posing as a nurse. Worshippers on the path of attachment must immerse all arguments in spiritual subjects and take shelter of samadhi. The external guru is he from whom the science of worship is learned. One who knows the proper path of attachment and who instructs his disciples according to their qualification is a Sadguru or eternal guru. One who does not know the path of attachment, yes, yet instructs others in this path, or who knows that path and instructs his disciple without considering their qualification, is a bogus guru and must be given up. The second obstacle is false arguments. It is difficult for one's ecstatic emotion to be awakened until Trinavrat in the form of a whirlwind is killed in village. In the form of Trinavrat, the arguments of philosophers, Buddhists, and logicians are all obstacles to the ecstatic emotion of grudge. Those who do not understand the purpose of the regulative principles, but simply carry the burden of following them out of formality, are unable to develop attachment. When one destroys Samhita, who personifies carrying the burden of regulative principles, the third obstacle is overcome. Bogus gurus who did not consider the disciples' qualifications for the path of attachment and thus instructed many Sakata-like people to accept service in the mood of manjaris and sakhis committed offences in the form of disrespecting confidential subject matters and fell down. Those who worship according to such instructions also gradually fall away from spiritual life because they do not attain the symptoms of deep attachment for those topics. Yet they may still be delivered by the association of devotees and proper instructions. This is called breaking sakat. The living entities are sober by nature, but when they are disturbed due to possessing a body made of blood and flesh, it is called baladosh or juvenile offenses. This is the fourth obstacle in the form of Vatsasur.
The most clever Bakasur, who is the personification of cheating religion, is the fifth obstacle for Vaishnavas. This is called Namaprad, offenses against the holy name of the Lord. Those who do not understand their qualification but accept the instruction of a bogus guru and engage in the process of worship meant for exalted devotees who treated us like people, and those who have understood their ineligibility yet with a goal to accumulate money and prestige still follow the process of worship meant for exalted devotees are called cheaters. Until this cheating in the name of religion is destroyed, one's attachment will not awaken. Such people deceive the entire world by making a show of sectarian formalities and pseudo renunciation. Those who see and respect such proud people's show of eternal formalities cannot attain love for Krishna and are like thorns in the side of the world. It is to be understood here that one should not disrespect a swan-like person just because he has accepted external formalities that are generally considered detestable. It is the eternal duty of Vaishnavas to develop the symptoms of love by associating with and serving devotees, while remaining indifferent to external formalities. Aghasur, the personification of intolerance and cruelty, is a sixth obstacle. Due to a lack of compassion for the living entities, there is a possibility that one's attachment will gradually diminish because compassion cannot remain separated from attachment. The basis of compassion for the living entities and devotion to Krishna is the same. If one intensely absorbs his mind in various arguments, opinions, and their respective literatures, then all realizations attained through samadhi are practically lost. This is called illusion based on the flowery words of the Vedas. Being overwhelmed with this illusion, Brahma doubted the supremacy of Krishna. The Vaishnavas should regard this illusion as the seventh obstacle. Subtle discrimination is extremely important for Vaishnavas. Those who invent social distinctions and preach the unbreakable principles of Vaishnavism while breaking them to suit their needs are said to possess gross discrimination. This gross discrimination takes form of the Asdhenuka. The As cannot eat the sweet palm tree fruits, and he opposes others' attempts to eat them. The purport is that the previous acharyas of the authorized sampradayas have written many spiritual literatures which people with gross discrimination neither understand nor allow others to see. As like devotees who are simply interested in regulative principles and under the control of gross discrimination are unable to attain a higher platform. Vaishnava principles are so unlimitedly exalted that those who simply remain entangled in the regulative process without endeavoring to understand the science of attachment are comparable to ordinary fruity workers. Therefore, until the Asdhenakasur is killed, one cannot advance in the science of Vaishnavism.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well done. Thank you, Chitra. Thank you, Karuna.
Go to number 11.
1 second. Oh, number 11. Translation. So just having a look at number 11. Yeah.
Yeah. This description in verse 11, where it says the worshipper should first take shelter from Manjari, was a nature similar to his own, later take shelter for Sakhi is worshipped by that Manjari. So here, you can, I was listening to a class by Indradumna Maharaj today, and, there, he was mentioning that we are always told that we should aspire to be gopis, and he said, how can we do that? We can't do that. So you have to become the servant of the servant of the gopi, and this tells you exactly what this process is, which is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so Bhaktivinod Thakur ki jai, and this is part 2 of Aitraiva Vrajabhavanam in the Krishna Samhita, and it's chapter 8, Vrajabhava Vicarah. Hare Krishna.